What is digital citizenship? Digital citizenship refers to using technology responsibly. It's a field of study that describes a set of behaviors that teaches technology users how to utilize technology in a safe and responsible manner. Mike Ribble is a well-known expert who has helped define the field of digital citizenship. He classifies digital citizenship into 9 broad areas in which we need to prepare technology users for a digital society. Our digital citizenship study began in 2010 when 2 educational technology professors and a library media specialist set out to document the state of digital citizenship in K-12 schools. We did this through a survey administered to library media specialists and educational technology professionals. A link to the survey was emailed to the presidents of the 50 state educational technology and school library media associations. We asked them to forward the link and survey information to their membership. The survey was re-administered in 2016 to update the state of digital citizenship in schools and to ascertain progress and changes. Almost all of the respondents to both surveys were school library media specialists. 500 responded in 2010 and about half that number in 2016. These are the study research questions, but for this presentation, in the interest of time, we'll just take a look at some of the research findings concerning educator awareness of digital citizenship issues, whether states are requiring schools to teach digital citizenship, how digital citizenship is being taught in schools, and what specific topics or issues are being taught in the schools. So the first thing we wanted to know was the level of teacher administrator awareness of these issues. In terms of teachers, survey respondents report that about half of the teachers in their school or district are mostly or very aware of digital citizenship issues, and half say some or only a few teachers are aware of these issues. In terms of administrators, 80% of respondents report most of their administrators are aware or very aware of digital citizenship issues, and these percentages have increased since the first survey in 2010. So overall, administrator awareness has increased more than teacher awareness, which has stayed about the same. We wanted to know how digital citizenship is taught in schools. As a one-shot class, such as a required computer class in 7th grade, or integrated across several grade levels and content areas. Experts believe students need ongoing instruction and practice in digital citizenship beginning in very early grades, even preschool, and continuing through high school. The 2016 respondents indicate there has been progress in moving toward an integrated curriculum, but progress is slow. Overall, the percentage of schools adopting a multi-grade curriculum has risen only slightly in the past 6 years. We asked respondents who reported that their schools or districts teach digital citizenship to identify what topics are taught. Plagiarism and copyright issues are taught in nearly all schools that teach digital citizenship. In the 2016 survey, respondents reported more emphasis in teaching cyberbullying and texting issues, cell phone etiquette, and ergonomics. Respondents who report their schools teach cell phone etiquette increased from 35% in 2010 to 86% in 2016. Teaching about ergonomics increased by 44%, teaching social networking skills rose by 52%, and teaching texting, IM, and email issues rose 43%. And these changes, to some extent, reflect the introduction of new technologies into schools, including mobile technologies. Widespread social media use by teens and younger students also has led to concerns around social networking and texting behaviors and may account for increased teaching in these areas. We asked if digital citizenship topics are included in respondents' state standards. We found only about a third of states mandate teaching these topics in schools. Many states lack any kind of statewide effort addressing digital citizenship. Respondents report that this matters because unless digital citizenship curriculum is required and part of state tests, initiatives to train teachers and teach students in this area will suffer. Some of the biggest gaps identified by the surveys are teaching about internet safety issues such as cyberbullying and online safety. While these topics are often taught in schools, less than a quarter of the participants indicate them to be included in state standards. The purpose of a digital citizenship curriculum is to teach students to become responsible users of technology. However, some schools try to keep students safe by restricting and controlling access to technology, by banning cell phones and social networking sites, and filtering or blocking internet access. Respondents took issue with some of these efforts because they state digital citizenship cannot be treated one way in school and one way outside of school because students use technology everywhere. There is some confusion as to who owns digital citizenship issues. A school administrator may not see an issue like cyberbullying as a school issue, as it takes place outside of school hours and off school property. Based on survey respondents, schools are dealing with digital citizenship issues in isolation rather than in partnership with communities and parents. Only 5 comments mentioned collaborative efforts. Previous research has indicated digital citizenship efforts will only be successful when behaviors are practiced and reinforced both inside and outside of school. So how are schools doing overall in terms of teaching digital citizenship? On the 2016 survey, we wanted to know if students generally practice responsible use of technology. And overall, almost half of students, as shown in the chart, sometimes practice responsible use. 41% of respondents report students somewhat understand or do not understand issues related to technology, and say 31% of students practice responsible use of technology somewhat or not at all. While these percentages have improved from 2010, it is relevant to college educators that respondents believe less than 20% of K-12 students practice responsible use of technology. In summary, some schools have adopted comprehensive programs such as Common Sense Media that teach digital citizenship principles across multiple grades. On the other end, some educators do not see digital citizenship as an educational issue, but more of a societal concern. Overall, there is some room for optimism in the digital citizenship field, as differences in the 2 surveys indicate awareness of these issues has increased over the years, and more schools are teaching a comprehensive digital citizenship curriculum beginning in earlier grades. So, implications for higher education. In K-12, students may have used a technology network that was so locked down that they never learned how to navigate the real internet safely or how to evaluate information. They may have had K-12 teachers who, on average, are not aware of digital citizenship issues and do not teach these issues. They may have had administrators who were not aware of these issues or who may have thought violations of digital citizenship, such as social networking issues, are not the responsibility of the school. Bottom line, 40% of K-12 students do not navigate the virtual world safely, effectively, and responsibly on a consistent basis. Educators at the college level need to teach digital citizenship, since students are not getting this in K-12. All educators need to model and teach these issues, and we cannot assume that students know how to use technology responsibly. Some of the areas in which we can model and teach include etiquette, such as when to use class-wide email, using salutations and signatures in email, teaching cell phone etiquette, such as when to call and for what purposes, use of texting terms in communications. We need to be aware of copyright restrictions in our guidances, announcements, and classroom posts. For example, posting an article. As you know, as a for-profit, we don't have the leeway of nonprofit educational institutions in this area. We have to model social networking savvy, including safe online communication and protection against identity theft. One of my students was being stalked and needed to keep a low online profile. We should encourage students to set up a new separate email account for tech tools that we want them to use. And if we use social networking tools with students, we should let them use an alias if they want to. We need to pay attention to netiquette and watch for inappropriate communication in class. We need to look for bullying or disrespect. There are a lot of things we can do to help our students become responsible users of technology. If you think of others, please post them in the chat. There are lots of resources for us and our students to learn more about digital citizenship. The Center for Identity is a great place to learn about privacy settings for all kinds of tech tools. Ashford also offers resources such as the Gen 103 course, Information Literacy, that teaches lots of information about evaluating information. There are webinars on the library website that are very relevant to digital citizenship issues. This one for fake news in you, evaluating web resources, know your sources. Another source of help from Ashford is the Cyber Aware campaign. I believe we just received the 5th email in this campaign last week, and these are extremely valuable resources for us and for our students. If you think of other resources, please share them in the chat. And now we will move to questions.